In Smurf Village lives a community of little blue people called the Smurfs, all of which with their own unique trait. All except one, who the rest of the Smurfs dub No Name. When Papa Smurf gets Smurf-napped, No Name, Smurfette, as well as a handful of other Smurfs go on an adventure to find him. On this adventure, however, the Smurfs will learn about their lineage and what their purpose in life is. Seriously. This is Smurfs. Smurfs is the latest adaptation of the 80s cartoon, or at least I think it was 80s. I'm not entirely sure, nor do I care enough to look it up. This is actually the third attempt to turn the Smurfs into a big movie franchise, the fourth film total. That's 2 Neil Patrick Harris movies, the one fully animated one from 2017, and this film. And Smurfs, this movie, is without a doubt the best one. By account, the other 3 are just so much worse. There is a spark of something actually good in this film, but at the end of the day, this is about as studio-mandated as a film can get. With topical references and the real world. Like, you're a fantasy movie. Do fantasy things. Please, think outside the box, just a little bit. Following in the footsteps of astronaut Katy Perry and Demi Lovato, this film picks its own pop star to play Smurfette. And if you've seen any of the marketing, you know Rhianna is Smurfette. The funniest part is that she isn't even the main character of the movie. That title goes to James Corden as No Name Smurf. I guess after getting kicked out of the Trolls franchise, this was the obvious next step. And James Corden is James Corden, I guess. He's there. Luckily, Rhianna is better as Smurfette. It's the same celebrity voice actor shtick you've seen in many kids' movies, but hey, it's not horrible. I've seen worse. John Goodman as Papa Smurf, though, I kind of like that one. That was a good casting choice. However, I think there's too many Smurfs in this movie, and I think the film knows that. Smurfs like Vanity, Hefty, and Brainy are in the film, but they're always kind of in the background at all times. If it wasn't for the fact that those 3 in particular have distinguishable qualities on their character design, interchangeable. 100% interchangeable. I understand that's like Smurf's thing, but when it comes to making a movie with an ensemble cast, you want characters that stand out from one another. Sometimes this film just forgets the funniest Smurf in the movie. Sound effects Smurf is like part of the adventure too, but also not. I swear he just disappears sometimes and just shows up at random occasions. Those random occasions kind of made me laugh, I'll be honest. But where the hell did he go? Luckily, Influencer Smurf was shot in the back alleys of Detroit. His presence would have tainted this movie, much like Jared Leto's will in this upcoming Tron. Disney, take the hint. This might be the closest I ever get to being a sexist incel chud, women suck, women ruin movies kind of person. I never want to be that, and I don't want to be it after this. But I can't help but feel like this movie having a diverse cast kind of ruins the joke of the Smurfs a little bit. This is mainly in regards to Vanity Smurf being voiced by a woman. He's meant to be a very flamboyant, arrogant guy, and he still is, but the voice just kind of doesn't fit the character. Maybe I'm just digging too hard for criticisms here. I just thought that kind of ruined the joke. And it's not like there aren't female Smurfs in this movie. There's like 7. So there you go. Now, the animation of this film is actually where it shines. Go figure. It's extremely bright and colorful, and maybe it was just me, but the models looked extremely different from an animated setting to the live-action ones. It was actually quite nice. It makes me wish they played with the animation more, because there is, and I am not joking here, an amazing scene with multiple different animation styles. I would have loved to have seen more of that in this movie. This could have been the Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse of Smurfs movies. Okay, maybe I'm overhyping it a little bit, but I gotta say, that part was a lot of fun visually. Now, the Trolls movies are very heavy with their pop music. There's no doubt about that. That's also about it when it comes to real-world stuff. They really lean into the idea that they are fantasy movies with fantastical characters and worlds, so I can see why they are popular. This movie, not so much. How do you not only do the same thing as the Neil Patrick Harris movies, but manage to go to Paris, the setting of the second Neil Patrick Harris movie? Luckily, the film doesn't stick around Paris, but a Smurfs movie taking place on Earth should be a crime? Then you have references to Zoom, podcasting, a DoorDash-like delivery service. Do kids actually find this stuff interesting? Seeing these fantastical characters interact with stuff that is more than mundane to us? It actually reminds me of the Guitar Hero scene from the first Smurfs movie. A scene that was outdated when the movie came out. So put that into perspective for you. The closest we get to this film being more fantasy-based is when they introduce the Tribbles from Star Trek. Or the better reference here, Wild Mike from Barnyard. Who's made that reference? There is actually another solid scene of a film that could have been with Papa Smurf and his brothers. It's quite action-packed, for this franchise at least. That's boring though. We have to have the Smurfs go to where every kid wants to be, a Paris nightclub. Why? But here's the thing. Even the film's new villain, who looks like Edna Mode but is significantly less fashion savvy, lives in a giant castle next to a regular-ass highway. When I say new villain, I mean Gargamel 2, but shorter and a bigger schnoz. Gargamel's actually in the movie, and so is Azrael. They're probably a highlight. They're more like lovable losers like Wile E. Coyote and Tomcat, and also have like multiple dimensions to their character. They're the only character in this movie that actually seems three-dimensional. Or at least the closest thing to it. Nothing will ever beat Hank Azaria's Gargamel, though. Those movies are not good, but he is amazing in them. I suppose I can't get myself to say this is one of the worst animated films I've ever seen, or even the least enjoyable one. Because I'll be real, Despicable Me 4 was pretty obnoxious. There were some good ideas in this film, and it wasn't far off from reinventing the Smurfs like Transformers 1 did for Transformers. However, the generic dialogue and the real-world setting and the cringy jokes just kind of makes you wish the Smurfs stayed in the 80s. Again, I don't know if that's where they're from. I'm not looking it up. Elio's good, though. Go see that. I hope you all enjoyed this review, and if you did, please consider hitting that like button, and if you want to see more, hit that subscribe button and ring that bell to be notified when my next review drops. Until next time, I'm Quint Dunaway, hoping you will keep it Smurfomatic cinematic.